Hi, I'm Jasmina Syed, and I'm an Employer Relations Assistant at the Career Center here at Stony Brook University. I'm excited to be joined by Keigh Dudley, who is an alumni of ours. How are you doing, Keigh?
Hi, Jasmina. Firstly, thank you for having me. I'm doing well, thanks.
We're glad to have you, Keigh. So to kick things off, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, as you said, my name is Keigh Dudley, and I am a Stony Brook alumni. I actually received 2 degrees. In 2013, I got my BS in Business Management from Stony Brook, and then right after, stayed and got my MBA in Accounting in 2015. Currently, I'm a senior consultant at Resnick, which is a top 15 national public accounting firm, and I work in our transactional advisory services group. Prior to that, I actually did 4 busy seasons in our auditing practice, but made a career change about a year and a half ago now.
That's awesome, Keigh. Can you tell me what are the key characteristics and skills that make up a successful accountant?
Sure. So being inquisitive is definitely one of the biggest traits you'll need. Just having that yearning for knowledge is going to be key to your development, and eventually you'll see in the development of others as well. Aside from that, accountability is going to be huge. Again, this is a very highly team-based driven environment, and so similar to college when you had those group projects, you never want to be the person not holding up your end of the bargain. So holding yourself accountable, seeing things through, and then seeing how you could lighten the load of others definitely goes a long way in this profession. And it's something, hopefully students start thinking about now while they're in school. In addition to that, I would say being self-reflective is going to be huge. Taking an honest look at how you're performing, how you want to be performing, or even in regards to your career as a whole. Where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? What are your likes and dislikes about what you're currently doing? Just being mindful of those will definitely help shape for a successful career, I would say.
Those are great tips, Keigh. What are the 3 most popular accounting career paths and opportunities, and how do you choose?
So the most common by far, and I'll just loop them together, is going into public accounting. So whether that's becoming an audit professional, tax accountant, or as a consultant or an advisor, those are probably your most common. That's what you're going to hear the most as an accounting student. Again, there's firms of various sizes you can join, but how you determine which one will kind of be dependent on where you see yourself and how much of an impact you'd like to make. I chose somewhat of a smaller firm, although still large, primarily because I also wanted my impact to be felt. I didn't want to get lost in the shuffle of a big 4, let's say, which I heard is easy to happen. However, I also wanted a firm with a reputation that I would be proud of to put on a resume. So for me, it's just all about finding the balance, and for every individual that'll be different, but that was kind of my route about choosing. So aside from public accounting, of course you have going private, which means instead of dealing with clients outside of your own organization, you spend all your time simply working for your employer within an internal accounting group. And then lastly, which is far less common, but something I definitely want to highlight, is just starting your own practice. Gaining the knowledge and confidence throughout your career, and then realizing, I'm tired of working for someone else. I'm going to go and branch off and try doing this on my own. It's definitely something I want to highlight because, again, it's not common, but it's needed for the profession as a whole. We need to keep it growing, and so we need those individuals with the entrepreneurial spirit to keep that alive.
That's great advice, Keigh. Thank you. And finally, where do you see yourself in 2 years, in 5 years, and in 10 years?
Again, good question. I would say, although this is still up in the air, some ideas I've kind of played around with are 1, a career in academia. So pursuing a PhD and teaching accounting is definitely something that's crossed my mind. I've sort of developed a strong interest in mentoring and teaching those while at my firm, and so it's something I've considered doing full-time as well. So that's one possible idea, probably more long-term. In the short term, I think I'm juggling between 2 other ideas. So campus recruiting, definitely something I've developed an interest in. Again, I've always enjoyed the dynamic of professional to student. So making that a full-time career decision may be what I end up doing. If not, I'm considering a career as a personal finance or wealth management consultant. Since I already have the client service skills, it's just a matter of switching gears a little bit.
Well, this has been so great, Keigh. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I want to thank you for providing me with your insight in how to navigate the accounting field.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
You too.